Hello, hello, and welcome to Oracle Hour. My name is Sabrina Rising. I'm a spiritual mentor and a psychic medium, and it's my honor to channel spirit on your behalf. We are streaming, as usual, live in 4 places. We're streaming on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, and on YouTube. Here we are. So if you're watching me anywhere other than YouTube, I can't see you. And if you have a question for the Oracle, I'm the Oracle. You can ask me anything you want. Please join me live on at Sabrina Rising on YouTube. That's my handle. And my trusted moderator, Lorraine, is here tonight with me, and she will put your questions in the chat. We started this last week, and it was really fun. We sent a link out for those of you that want to join me live on camera. So Lorraine will post the link if you want to come on camera and have a conversation with me, ask me some questions. We can do a live reading if you're comfortable sharing your question for the benefit of all of our community and anybody who will watch this video. Please don't be shy. Come on camera, and I'm happy to answer your question and to channel whatever messages I feel are here for you that you need to hear at this time. Okay, so I love to do this work. I love to help people that are struggling, whether you're struggling with relationship issues, financial issues, career, purpose, life path, spiritual connection, channeling. Maybe you're someone who's trying to develop your own intuitive gifts or your own mediumship skills. Whatever questions you have on your journey, please feel free to put them in the chat. There is no question that I cannot answer. So go ahead and ask the Oracle, and I will channel on your behalf. Okay, good. So hi, everybody. Hi, returning members. It's good to see you. Patty, Emily, Johanna, thank you for being here with me live. Again, Lorraine, you're going to put the link, please, for any members that want to participate, that want to come on screen. That's the link. So just click on that if you already know you want to come on your video. Of course, I will be talking for at least 10 to 15 minutes. I'll be teaching on a topic. So if you want a minute to go brush your hair or to get ready and then come on live, you can do that too. So just click on the link and you'll be put in the queue to come and join me on screen, or you can just simply put your question in the chat, whatever is most comfortable for you. Okay. So for tonight, I'm going to talk a little bit about what it means when spirit says wait. And what does that mean? First of all, when spirit says wait, it means that the answer is unknown, right? This is the unknown. It's the void. It's that space for most of us, that can be really uncomfortable. It can be really unsettling. It can trigger a lot of fear, whether it's from this incarnation or previous incarnations. It can bring up a lot of anxiousness and unrest. And it's a reminder that right now we're just not supposed to know. Okay. So first of all, in my humble experience, spirit is always talking, right? So there's always a message, a sign, a signal, even if it feels like you're not getting the answer that you want. Okay, so for those of you that are new to a spiritual practice, to developing a relationship with your higher self, with spirit, and you want to learn to receive guidance, to trust your own energy, to lean into your own intuitive hits, to step out of the mental prison of conditioning that tells you what you're supposed to do, what you should do, what you ought to do, what you better be doing. And so all of those, conditioned beliefs that really aren't in alignment with your authentic nature. If you really want to learn how to lean into your intuition and trust those hits, really trust what spirit is telling you. Okay, it's very important to start creating a relationship with your higher self. Higher self, spirit, source, consciousness, nature, God. These to me are all synonyms of each other. So it doesn't matter how you frame the word. Every word has a certain frequency, has a certain vibrational, it has a certain energy to it, and it will either open you up and create more of a trust, a leaning into, or it can also shut you down depending on your relationship with the word. So pick the context that is most empowering for you and choose that context to build a relationship with something that is outside of your 3D awareness, so that when you are leaning in and asking questions and asking for guidance, and nothing is coming through, you still feel the presence of being connected to something bigger than you. Even if you're not getting the audible message or the visual sign or the intuitive nudge and so on. Sometimes spirit just wants you to wait. It just means it's not time yet. The very thing that you've been manifesting or co-creating with a friend or talking about or really implementing in your life, the very thing that you've been putting all your energy into, if it's not showing up, It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with you or you haven't done the work or that there's something to revisit perhaps. It just means that it's just not time. Okay, that there's something to develop still within yourself, perhaps, or within your relationships, or within the environment, or just within the energy itself. It's just not time to lean into it. And oftentimes, when there is this sacred pause, which you've heard me talk about before, this period of waiting, of holding on. We don't know what's going on yet, but we know something's coming, right? That's very important. We have to live with this implicit knowingness that we are being guided, directed, and provided for, even if it feels like we've been abandoned, even if it feels like there's silence, there's nothing, I'm not getting any nudges, I'm not getting any hits, I have no idea what my next step is. Okay, this is very normal, very human, very common. This is the time when everybody comes for readings, asks questions, what's going to happen, what's my message? The fact of the matter is there's always a message for you. Oftentimes our attachment to hearing what it is that we want to hear will prevent us from receiving the true guidance that we need in the moment. Okay, so if you're looking for a yes or no, or is it time or is it not time? Is this the right thing or is this not the right thing? And you're tuning in and you feel like there's nothing there for you. The pause at times is really just an invitation to just reflect on the question, reflect on your intention, reflect on what it is that you're trying to create in your life right now. If you are, for example, if you're someone who is creating an offering, for example, let's say you're an online coach and you're creating something that you want to put out into the world and you don't know quite what it is yet, and you want to sit with it. And just learn to sit with it. This is a very common vernacular that we use in spiritual community. You learn to sit with something, to be with the energy, to be with your own intention, and allow for this gestation period to bring forward whatever feels like it's in alignment, whatever feels like, okay, this is ready. This is what I want to offer. This feels like I want to move, right? And so oftentimes, because we live in such a fear-based, ego-based, same difference consciousness, we're driven to make things happen out of scarcity and lack, out of fear of missing out, or perhaps the fear of getting left behind, or the fear that, if we don't do something, then, we judge ourselves. I'm procrastinating, I'm lazy, I did a video about this not that long ago. And so these are judgments that we have about our lack of performance or lack of output. From a spiritual perspective, if you were to approach yourself with gentle curiosity, with unconditional love and compassion, you could set an intention to ask a question. What is my next move? Or how should I use my energy? What is the most positive, uplifting, constructive use of my time and effort right now? And really learn to sit with it, especially if there's no direct hit, if there's no immediate intuition, then you learn to just allow the energy or the intention to marinate in your life and see what comes through, because eventually you will have that nudge. There's always a sign. There's always a signal, even if it means just wait, even if it means, not now, even if it means not this thing, but this other thing is coming down the line that's actually better for you. If you've applied for a job and it didn't come through, again, it's not rejection, it's redirection, right? If you are intending for something in your life and it's just not turning out the way you want it to, just give yourself permission to pause. Okay. This is something that I feel personally as well. Like, having lived an entire life in the corporate world and now, 20 plus years in the spiritual community as an online presence, as a facilitator, as a coach, as a guide and a medium, there are times where I feel like, oh, I have this window of time in my life. I should be doing something with it. Like I should be creating something, or I should be, offering something, or perhaps teaching something, leaning into my, my wisdom and my authority. And there are times when it's just not there. It's either the inspiration isn't there, or the idea isn't there, or the nudge isn't there. And that just means it's not time to bring something forward. It just means that I need to be sitting in my own energy for a little while. I need to be honoring myself, perhaps doing something else. Interestingly enough, the most creative ideas I've had, the most intuitive hits of inspiration and how to guide and lead others have come through while I'm doing the most mundane things. I could be, I could be folding laundry, or I could be cleaning my house, or doing the dishes, or perhaps spending time with my children. Or so when I want you to recontextualize the way you live your life, just to know that spirit always hears your heart, always hears your question, always hears your intention, and is delivering the message in the way in which you can receive it at the best time, in the most favorable, during the most favorable conditions for you to be able to really hear it, feel it, know it, and trust it, so you can move forward in full confidence that this is your sign. Okay, so sometimes spirit just wants you to relax, wait, perhaps develop yourself, perhaps, create the foundation, perhaps clean up some things, perhaps prepare the way for the very thing that it is that you want to bring into manifestation. Okay, we have to be ready for what it is that we deeply desire. We have to be ready mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And so oftentimes when nothing is coming through, it's really just because we have some preparation to do. Not that there is anything wrong with us, but we are being guided to cultivate the presence and the foundation to receive that which we deeply desire. Okay, so it's always important to know that you're never abandoned. You're always connected. There's always your spirit team is always around you. There's always a message for you, even if the message is just wait and just pause and take this sacred time to really connect with your own energy, develop your spiritual practice, deepen your trust in knowing that you're always being guided and supported no matter what. Okay, so that's my teaching for tonight. Hopefully that inspired some beautiful questions. Thank you all for joining me live. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have some people that want to come on camera. That's amazing. Questions. Thank you all for joining me live. It's good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I have some people that want to come on. Oops. Thank you all for joining me live. It's good to see you. Hi, Rhonda. Let me see here. Oh, I see. Okay, so we have to mute Rhonda in order to get her question. Is that what's happening? Okay. All right. Let me see here. Oh, I see. Okay. So we have to mute Rhonda in order to get her question. Is that what's happening? Is that what's happening? Okay, Rhonda, I'm going to mute my microphone. You can come on and connect with me, and then you'll mute your microphone and I'll answer your question. Okay. Otherwise, we'll try this in the chat. Microphone. You can come on and connect with me, and then you'll mute your microphone and I'll answer your question. Okay. Otherwise, we'll try this in the microphone. You can come on and connect with.
Hold on. I'm not sure what to do. Hold on. Oh, you heard me? Okay, I'm not sure what to do. Okay, I'm not sure what to do. Okay. Oh, you heard me? I think Michael has ghosted. Okay, I'm not sure what to do. Okay, I'm not sure what to do.
Rhonda, you're going to have to put your question in the chat because it's echoing 2 and 3 times. There's something going on with your microphone and mine. Okay, so you need to put your question in the chat. The only thing I heard you say so far is I think Michael has ghosted me. So put your question in the chat and we'll work that way. I apologize. I don't know what's going on with your microphone. Go ahead and put your question in the chat, Rhonda. Hi, Emily. Nice to see you. Let's move on until we can get Rhonda back. Oh, here she goes. There we go. Okay. Michael has ghosted me. Oh boy. Okay. So do you think he's ghosted you or do you know? We're going to need you to type so we can interact here. Okay. Does this are you assuming that this is the case or do you just feel, and maybe this is your question, because I feel like, he's kind of pulled. Yeah, I feel like this is a pause. We were just talking about this in our intro. Like this is a kind of a pause in his idea of how his life was going to go at this stage. Rhonda, are you still there? She's like, I haven't heard from him. Yeah. Okay. You will. He's going to come back with an explanation. I know this like 100%. I feel like he's going to come back with an explanation. This is exactly the energy I was talking about. There's like all of a sudden there's no message, right? There's no message. And there's a sense of urgency and anxiousness and what's going on. And I need to know, and what's happening, because we can't handle that pause. Okay. So I think right now, the best thing for you to do is just relax and give yourself lots of love. Regulate your nervous system, as you know how to do. You know how to do the peace process. So just regulate your nervous system, come into your body, and just trust that he's going to reach back out when he's ready. I feel like that, first of all, this is a good person. This is a person with integrity. This is a person who has showed up to be in relationship with you. You've co-created a relationship thus far. So it's not, there's no all of a sudden change of heart. It's just something happened in his life. I actually feel like it has to do with either a daughter-in-law or son-in-law, or like some kind of extended, situation. I'm good, actually. Okay, great. I love that you're good. I love that you're not anxious and not in fear, but this is the energy. I want you to pause and just, sometimes spirit is asking us to wait. Okay. This is the message that came through for the collective tonight. And it's true for you in your situation as well. Like, just really wait and see what happens. Try to avoid any tendency to judge or to like leave and label the situation. Like, I think Michael has ghosted me is a diagnosis, right? We're already coming up with a diagnosis. So I want you to actually pause and give this a few days before you feel in your body, you lean into your body and really know what happened. Okay. And so Rhonda says, I know that it's not about me. I can wait. I'm not ready to give up. Okay, good. Good. It's got nothing to do with you. He's going to come back with an explanation, and you're going to hear about either one of his kids or the spouse of his children having some kind of situation, having something that he needed to attend to, that it's a family matter. Feels like a family matter that he's attending to. He'll be back and he'll explain it to you, and then you can go from there. But I feel like this has the potential of bringing you closer together. Okay. Brenda says, I'm committed to NVC. Beautiful. I love hearing this. So in the nonviolent communication world, this is how we handle this. Michael, when I didn't hear from you for a few days, I felt whatever the feeling was, because I have a need for consistency, presence, communication, integrity, just clarity in terms of what's going on with us. So would you be willing to meet this need, by agreeing to a structure in the future if something comes up, or you need to take a break, or you need to take a pause? Please communicate that with me first, so that we both understand what's happening. Okay, so this is the NVC structure that you would use in order to manage this, so that you can avoid confrontation. Rhonda says, observation, feeling, need, and request. Exactly. So observe the issue. I observe that you have not been in communication. This is perfect NVC, Rhonda. What a great student. I love it. So I observe the situation. My feeling is, hurt, confusion, maybe a little bit of repulsion, being turned off, right? And the need is for consistency, clarity, integrity, respect, communication. My request is going forward, if you need a pause, or you need a break in the communication, or you need some space, to please communicate that from your heart, right? Before disappearing. Okay. So this is a beautiful structure to manage this conflict with this person who is coming back, who is actually, I feel like you're going to grow from this. Okay. So you have the potential to grow from this. So, that's how I want to answer that question for now. I love that you're doing good. And just, again, the medicine here is to focus on filling your own cup. I love it when I receive confirmation from you. Thank you. Okay, it's my pleasure. Thank you for being here. And thank you for demonstrating for all of us the power of nonviolent communication, and what it means to really stay in your power when the person you love is not behaving in ways that, that feel good, right? This is so important. Like, how can we stay the calm in the eye of the storm? When everything else is not going the way we want it to, how do we remain equanimous and centered and anchored in our own power, and still capable of love, right? Still capable of love for ourselves and love for our so-called perpetrators. There's no such thing, but it feels like they are, right? So-called teachers, we'll call them teachers for just to use a more empowering context. He's teaching you about yourself in this situation. Here's your opportunity to dive deep into self-love and self-care and self-honoring, really knowing what those structures are so that you can set them up as boundaries for the future. And here's the thing, Rhonda, if you set up a structure, once you have an agreement with him and you've set up the structure, if he can't adhere to this structure, then you have grounds to renegotiate your relationship or perhaps even leave the relationship. The only reason to ever leave a relationship, okay, and I've said this a million times and I'll say it until I stop coaching, which is never, is the only reason to ever leave a relationship is if you absolutely know for sure that you cannot get your needs met, okay? So if you know that you can't get your needs met, that's the time to go. I journaled that he's teaching me. Good. And this is how I feel it. I feel this is an opportunity for growth and expansion. And this is the beauty of being equanimous, of staying in your power and of self-love, is that you actually, I mean, it'd be nice if he came back, but you don't need him to, right? There might be some grief and some loss and some processing of the relationship, but he is not the source of love for you. You are the source of love for you. And this is the reminder, right? And this is what relationships are here to teach us, because it's not always positive. It's not always wonderful. It's not always rainbows and roses. Sometimes it's painful and it's hurtful. Okay. So relationships are mirrors for where those moments when we need to be able to love ourselves more deeply. Okay. So I love that you're sharing this with us. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I'm sorry we couldn't have you on camera, but we'll figure out the technology. Perhaps we can try again next week. Okay. Thank you for being here. Okay. Next question. Hi, Johanna. How are you? Johanna says, can you please give me insight from spirit of what is best for my interest in regards of career and what is there for me? I'm passing some challenges and need some guidance on what to do. Thank you. What is my best interest in regards of career? So, okay, Johanna, when I tune into your energy, I feel like you're waiting for something. Like you've been, you have like, it feels to me like you have this idea or you have this inspiration and you're like, oh, that could be it. But then you don't fully follow through on it. Okay. So I want you to stop looking for confirmation or looking for the thing that sounds like you. I really feel like this is what's going on. And this is very human to do this, to look for the thing that sounds like us, that seems like this could be something I could do, or that could be something I could do. It's like kind of like trying on new clothes, when you go shopping, it's like, does this fit? Does that fit? How does this look? How does that look? We look in the mirror to see if it's a right fit for us based on the external. But instead, I want you to really focus in on what feels good in your body, like what actually calls to you. This is what you're not listening to. Okay. So, there's something very holistic. I want to say, it's interesting that I brought in the clothes analogy because there's something also fashion related as well for you that I feel would be a good fit, something creative. Okay. So it feels like this is something you've either have experience with or something you enjoy. Spirit wants you to express your creative side. So what is the thing that you would do if money was no object, if you had all the time in the world, right? What is the thing that you feel naturally most drawn to? What is the thing that you find yourself helping other people with? Okay. That's where I want you to look in terms of how to express yourself. Okay. I understand the challenges you're going through. I understand that there's some, financial challenges. There's some, it feels almost like you might even be thinking about relocating somewhere, like just kind of like reestablishing your whole foundation. Okay. It feels like you're being uprooted. This is a powerful time to do that. This is the Lionsgate portal. We're still in it. Okay. It peaks on August 8th. So we're still in this very thin veil, this very strong accelerated container for manifestation. So this is where I want you to ground and really ask yourself, where do I want to be? How do I want to feel? What do I want to spend my time doing? What is the thing that I really, really love that really brings me joy? Okay. This is where the answers are going to come through. Don't look for what should I do or what is out there for me that fits. Okay. I want you to feel into the thing that it is that you're really good at. And my sense of your energy is that you're very creative, and you've got a knack for fashion or flair or art or putting things together, aesthetics, okay, whether it's on your person or even in designing the environment around you. Okay, so you have a natural inclination for that. So learn to explore and have some fun with your creative energy, and start to, see where that unfolds. Don't focus on the outcome. This is what human beings do. We focus on, where is this going to get me? How much can I make doing this, versus how can I have fun with this today, and allow that to open the next door, and then have fun with that, and then allow that to open the next door, and then have some fun there, and then so on and so on, until you feel like you're exactly where you're supposed to be. Okay. The path to your most fulfilled life is an intuitive one. So, but it requires your own intuition, not just mine or another reader or, a coach and so on, or a guide. Guidance is wonderful because it gives you permission, also calls you out on the thing that you're doing that's keeping you stuck. But we want to be able to lean into the thing that really brings us the most joy, the most pleasure, the most passion. And this is what, I want you to focus on. I don't know if you're still here, if you can validate, if you're watching the replay, I want you to step away from any career around finance or like, it just feels like anything to do with numbers and so on. This is not for you. Okay. This is not your self-expression. It can be an area of competency, but it's not a zone of genius. And those are two different things. So many of us get stuck in things that we're good at, but that we're not actually meant to do. Okay. Because we're good at it and we can survive doing that, and it provides security and stability. We stay there, but it doesn't actually feed the soul. Okay. And that's part of the reason why you're going through challenges right now, because you're not where you're supposed to be. This is obvious. Okay. So follow the guidance and come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Hi, Brittany. Brittany says, happy Sunday, loves. Happy Sunday, Brittany. I'm interested in hearing what messages are trying to reach me from the other side. Okay, so I want to say something about the other side. There is no other side. This is universal intelligence is all around us. It's within us. There's no separate area where spirits are. Spirits are not separate from you. The messages are all coming from you and all the different versions of you that live in other dimensions simultaneously, parallel to this current incarnation. Okay, so there is only source consciousness. And even when we're talking to loved ones that are in the spirit realm, it's still, we're accessing the memories that you have. We're still accessing you and receiving things that are necessary for you. Okay, so you're always involved. So I want to say that first and foremost, primarily because I want to reassure you that you're supported, you're loved, you're being anchored in this present moment, to trust the unknown. Again, this is exactly what I was talking about at the beginning. Feels like there's something you're not sure about in some of your relationships. This kind of relationship theme is coming through. So really focusing on developing relationship with yourself and letting go of the expectations of other people, like other people showing up or other people acting in a certain way and so on. Spirit wants you to learn to be self-sufficient and self-reliant and sovereign. Those are the words that come through for you, and it's a very powerful time for that. Again, the Lionsgate portal is all about personal sovereignty and creating what we truly deeply desire. Okay, so this is what I want to say to you: is continue to focus on personal sovereignty and learning how to stand on your own 2 feet. There's something that you want to do, Brittany, that you still need to develop. Okay, it's kind of like the same trajectory. Okay, and I feel like perhaps I've channeled this message for you before. So I want you to continue to follow the thing that you know you need to do to provide for yourself, to support yourself, to provide for your children, and not rely on other people. Okay, this is very, very important. It's a part of you that's disappointed in how others have shown up and feeling, we've got to get over the resentment. We got to get over the resentment and move into personal self-responsibility so that you can create a life that you truly, truly love. Okay. I hope that resonated for you. I don't know if you are still here, but if you are, feel free to verify. Otherwise, we will move forward. Go ahead. Patty. Hi, Patty. Hi, Sabrina. We've talked about this before, but do my guides have an update about my romantic life and when I might meet my soul man while I'm working on myself? Is there anything else I should know? Okay. So the when question is always up to you. Okay. And any good psychic, good medium, good, facilitator of bridge between, you and your higher self will share with you. Okay. The when is always, the ball is in your corner. When is dependent on your ability to allow, to receive, to open, to embody the manifestation of what you want to see in your life right here, right now. Okay. So, I can give you a rough idea based on my experience as an intuitive guide and medium, but you can change that by making different choices. Okay. So for you, Patty, it's really about like loving yourself and honoring yourself and raising your standard for how you want to be treated in relationship. Okay. So there's some cleaning up there for you to do. And when you fully do that, like when you immerse yourself in that work, make it your priority, it's going to make you more attractive. You'll feel more magnetic. And, while you're working on yourself, as you're working on yourself, this is when you meet somebody. They sort of simultaneously happen. Okay. And that's what I want to share with you tonight. So I don't want you to worry about when is this going to happen, because the when is it going to happen means you're sitting in lack and longing. Okay. So when is this going to happen means I'm acknowledging that I don't already have it. I'm sitting in lack and longing, right? And as long as you're feeding that energy, you're pushing away the very thing that you want, which is to feel loved. Right? If you want to feel loved, if the relationship is there to help you feel loved, then you get to start doing that today by loving yourself fully and radically, unconditionally is what I want to say, so that you can feel what that feels like. And when you learn to be in that energy, you will attract someone who can meet you there. Okay. Until then, we always attract people that are mirrors for, as I mentioned earlier, I believe it was Taronda, we always attract people that are mirrors for our self-love, lack of self-love, and teaching us how to love ourselves more deeply. Okay. And that's true for you and for anybody watching. All right. So that's what I want to say. I want you to give this some time to develop. Okay. So you've received a message, really focus on your healing journey, focus on, doing the inner work that we talked about, developing your path, and let it go. You set your intention to meet someone, let go of your attachment, and see what unfolds as you progress on your journey. Okay. So don't keep focusing on when is this going to happen. Set your intention, focus on you, surrender it, and then watch what happens. Okay. This is my best advice for you. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Does anybody else want to try coming on screen? Should we try again? All right. Let's put the link for anybody who wants to come on screen. Please feel free. There it is. There's the link. You can just click on that and join me live. We'll see what happens. We didn't have much luck with Rhonda with her speaker, but we'll see what happens. Patty says, thank you so much. You're so welcome, Patty. You're so welcome. Okay. Who's next, Lori? Robin West says, hi, Sabrina. Can you tell me if the man I have on my mind and I will be together? Oh, okay. Let me see what I can channel for you. Okay, so I want to know if you're still here. It's really helpful if when you're asking me questions, if you're on the call and you stay on to validate. Okay, then I can work with you. I don't know who Eric is, but there is a name of an Eric or Aaron. I'm still here. Okay, good. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, I keep hearing this Eric name, and I don't know if this is the guy that you're with, but it feels like there is someone else that wants to come through in your connection. Okay. So the guy that you have on my mind, will you be together? I, I want to say this is taking a lot of work and a lot of effort. Um, yeah, I keep hearing the name Eric. This feels like a more significant name, a more significant person for you in your life. It could be someone you haven't met yet. But the person that you have on your mind is not, yeah, I don't feel like this is the one for you. I don't feel like this is the relationship that's really going to meet you at that point of love and connection and intimacy and soul fulfillment that you're looking for. Okay. I don't know an Eric. Okay, good. So, I mean, look, this is the name that I hear when I tune into your energy. So I want you to stay open because the, it's not this guy that you have on your mind. It's not, you know, it feels like there's something that keeps misfiring between the two of you, like 2 steps forward, 10 steps back is the best way for me to contextualize it. Okay. So I think this is going to be a push pull kind of energy for some time until you choose to just, really focus in on what it is that you want and how you want to feel in relationship. And then you'll move on from this. Okay. So, that's my message for you. I know that you probably really care about this person. I know that you really, want to have something happen. But again, we want to always take a step back and say, yes, that's how it's been. Yeah. Okay. So there's this new guy coming. I want you to come back in a couple of weeks and tell me you met Eric. It's, we can't force a person to love us. We just cannot make a relationship happen. And if you feel like you're in this like tension of longing and is this going to happen? And, why isn't he, giving me more of what I want and so on. Like if it doesn't flow naturally, it's just not your person. Okay. So again, the degree to which we are trying to force an outcome is the same degree to which we should be surrendering and developing trust and faith and knowing that something better is coming for us. Okay. So I really want you to focus on building your relationship with yourself, loving yourself, seeing yourself as beautiful. It really feels called through spirit to tell you this, like acknowledging yourself as beautiful and lovable and attractive. I feel like there's a lot of self-esteem stuff going on, or at least there has been. I want you to really focus on building yourself up and just not settling for this type of back and forth push-pull energy. You deserve better than that. Okay. So I wish I had better news, but you asked the oracle. So I'm giving you the truth. And I say it with love and compassion. My message to all beings everywhere is always to remember that you are loved by spirit and that love is meant to be expressed through you. So you're meant to feel loved. You're meant to feel lovable. You're meant to experience the totality of this love in this current incarnation. Okay. So whatever I can say to help you get there. Robin says, okay, that's what I thought. Better is coming. Thank you. Yeah, good. All right, beautiful. So you already know, right? See how your body already knows that. You lean into your own intuition. And this is what I said at the beginning of the broadcast. Like when Spirit's just telling us to wait. It's telling us to not now, not this one, not this guy. This isn't it yet, but this is the step. These are what you've extrapolated from this experience with this guy is teaching you what you need, what you want, what you don't want. It's getting you more clear on how you want to be in relationship so that you can be ready for this new energy that's coming in. Okay. So thank you so much, Robin. I appreciate you being here with us live. Good. Okay. Who's next? Hi, Emily. Nice to see you. Emily says, I recently lost half of my personal library in the mail. It has broken my heart. I am so sorry. I would appreciate any guidance around it, but I know there's nothing I can do about it. Yeah. There isn't. I mean, yeah, when I tune into it, it just feels like it's, it feels like it's wet underwater or something. Like that's the image I get is like this big pile of things like that got wet and drenched. And here's what I want to say to you, because when we lose something that has so much value and so many memories for us and so much personal energy invested into it, you know, I want you to take a step back, because obviously I want you to honor your feelings around grief and loss. And as you say, you feel like your heart's broken. So there's an attachment there that we need to process, right? It must have fallen off a ship. Yeah, that's what I feel. It feels wet. So I just have this image of like this box, like, you know, underwater. Yeah, it feels like it crossed an ocean too. So I don't know if that's something that how your items were mailed. But I want to say to you that I want you to like really, once you process the grief and the loss and you meet yourself with compassion and you have all your feelings about it, because I don't want you to bypass your feelings. I don't want anyone to ever bypass their true emotions, whether it's anger or fear or resentment or whatever it is that you're feeling. I want you to be able to take a step back and trust that there is a divine unfolding here. Okay, there's always a higher purpose, a higher reason. Perhaps there's something in the mail or in whatever it is that you wrote that you need to let go of, that's you're better off without. Okay, that it's time to say goodbye to the version of you. This is what I want to say. It's time to say goodbye to the version of you that wrote those pieces. Okay. And that whatever is yours, whatever is truly in your heart, whatever is your actual self-expression cannot be taken from you. It cannot. It's who you are. It's your essence, right? So, you know, sometimes we write things down and we think this represents me. It represents my life. This is the history of who I am. These are all the parts of me, but it's not. It's just one interpretation, subjective interpretation of yourself in a moment in time that actually no longer exists. Because who you are today is different than that version, right? So it's really, this is a deep, painful lesson in letting go and just trusting that the essence of who you are is something that nothing can take from you. No one can take that from you, okay? No event can certainly take it from you, okay? I wish I could give you some pragmatic insights on how to recover this, but it's gone, and it's gone for a reason. And you need to take advantage of this pause right now so that you can grieve and let go and just meet yourself with unconditional love and compassion, so you can feel that. You can feel that it's gone for a reason and it's what's best for you. Okay, Emily? That's my message for you tonight. Okay, I'm sending you so much love. I know that's rough, but you got to go through it, and you're going to feel, you're going to realize, you're going to look back and go, oh yeah, I understand why that happened. Okay, we're not there yet. You're still in the dip. So be in the dip and just love yourself through it. Okay. Hi, Shiloh. Good to see you back. Good. Hi, Lorena. Lorena says, any messages for me from my family on the other side? Okay, you missed my chat before. Please stay on if you want validation as well. There is no other side. There's no other side. There's just, it feels like they're somewhere, our loved ones are somewhere else, because we're in 3D. So we can't feel and we can't see them. We can feel them. We can hear them. We can connect with them. We may not be able to see them in physical density because they're not in physical density anymore. They're in spirit form. Okay. For messages from your loved ones, I also encourage anybody who wants to connect with their loved ones to book a mediumship reading. Okay, so Lorraine, you can post that link for Lorena, and for anybody else who wants to book a mediumship. Mediumship is best handled in a one-to-one environment. In the meantime, Lorena, I'm going to see what I can channel for you. You can put Lorena's question back up again. Yeah. You know, when I tune into your energy, like the first thing I feel is like, I get this vision of you sitting on kind of like a veranda or the back patio of a home where you're staring out into the yard and you're kind of wondering what your next move is. And the message that I feel, and it feels like it's coming from your maternal line, is, that it's interesting because I usually get messages of like, it's time to let go, or it's time to like move on from here. But your family is really encouraging you to stay in this property, to stay in this property, to stay where you are, to keep cultivating. It's kind of like keep cultivating the soil or keep cultivating the environment. Lorena says, I'm here. Thank you. Okay, good. So keep cultivating, the environment you're in. There's more work for you to do. In fact, they want you to raise your family in this place and to continue this legacy. So you're being asked to carry something forward. It feels like something cultural. It also feels like something traditional. Okay, so you're being asked to carry something forward, to bring it, to pass it on to your kids and their kids, and that kind of thing. So it feels like a very traditional message that you're getting from your maternal line, that of being where you are, learning to appreciate your environment. There's a part of you that feels like you want to go, or you want to maybe move or go somewhere else or start over. Instead, you're being encouraged to be where you are. There's kind of unfinished business in the environment that you're in. Okay, Lorena, so that's the message I have for you. That's like, coming through very clearly. And just like, yeah, learning to be where your hands are too. There's something that you're doing in this environment where you're in, whatever it is, that wherever your family left you with, there's something that you're doing there that's going to benefit you and your family as well. Okay, so you'll have to fill in the gaps and put the pieces of that together, because we obviously can't talk to each other. But if you want to come for a mediumship reading, then we'll be able to drop in a little deeper. I can see you, I can feel you, and we can communicate a little bit more clearly what these messages are about. Okay, but if you're thinking about moving or changing location, or getting out of the environment that you're in, your family, especially your maternal lineage, wants you to stay, wants you to keep working and cultivating what it is that you're doing, and to bring forward the traditions that were imparted onto you, onto your own kids. Okay, that's the message Spirit has for you. Good, beautiful. Okay, who is next? Amy's Garden. Hi, Amy. Amy says, any advice on an exhausted empath who is just trying to find herself after being told my past was too much, and it kind of caused my shadow work to come in super fast? Okay, I love this question. It's a really good question, Amy, and I really appreciate you bringing it forward. If you're exhausted, my advice to you is rest. Okay, so stop trying to work on yourself. Stop trying to figure it out. You need to unplug from the energy of those around you. Okay, so it's really time to kind of go into a restorative phase of your life. Okay, this is the best advice I would give you. This is advice I give myself as someone who feels energy all the time, is to learn to protect your energy, learn to cut it off, learn to not take on with it what's other people's. And there is some codependent relationship in your life that I feel really affects you. Like whenever you interact with this person, it really kind of derails you, or like you're very sensitive to their comments or their questions or their disposition towards you. So, I want you to really take a break and evaluate all of your relationships and see which ones actually nurture your soul and which ones feel like you're having to constantly prove yourself to, or you're under a microscope, or you're feeling constantly judged and diagnosed. Okay, so those are the ones I want you to take a break from. You're not too much. Your past is not too much. Your story is beautiful, and your story is what makes you you, and it's unique, and it's something that needs to be integrated so that you can embody the next version of you, the more healed version of you. Amy's Garden says, thank you. You're welcome. So, you're not like, this is just about you honoring yourself. You've got people in your life that are saying things about you. Perhaps they're not equipped to deal with the way that you're expressing yourself, or perhaps they're being triggered by the way you express yourself. These aren't your people. They're just not. I want you to I'm going to create an affirmation for you. So I am manifesting deep and meaningful relationships with like-minded people. I'm attracting that. I'm attracting that into my life so that you can meet like-minded souls who can see all of you, who can hold space for you, and be a support on your journey. It feels like you're having to make excuses for yourself, or over-explain yourself, or over-explain your wants and needs, or what happened to you, and so on. You don't have to justify who you are to anybody. You know, you were born on purpose. Everybody was born on purpose. Nobody got here by accident. You chose this incarnation. You chose this dharma, this life that you're living, the paths that you're traversing. You chose these conditions, these conditions, even the ones that are hurting you and telling you that you're too much. You know, all they're doing is reflecting back to your own inner critic. You, on some level, think you're too much. So if you learn to reframe that and see yourself as whole and complete, then you can take a break from this, and you'll stop attracting these type of conversations, these type of people, and start to learn to fill your own cup. Okay, your nerves are shot. Amy's Garden says, I've been meditating on who I really am now and what is really me. Okay, good. So I was going to say meditate. So your nerves are shot. It feels like your nerves are shot because you're ruminating on this. Okay, so I want you to learn to regulate your nervous system. Amy, go spend time in your garden. If you have one, please, you need to be in nature. You need to calibrate to Mother Nature's rhythms. It's almost like getting in touch with your own circadian rhythms is the message that I have for you. Like really leaning into that, leaning into Mother Nature, grounding, being in the earth. You need so much grounding energy, like big time. Okay. Because your energy is very watery. So just ground and create some density in your world, which means boundaries, so that you're not feeling everything all of the time. And you're learning to anchor yourself in your own identity. Okay. And again, this is just about creating an identity that aligns with you. Okay. And then doing the inner work to make sure that you can embody those feelings authentically. All right. That's my message for you, Amy. Okay, thank you so much for sharing such a beautiful question and for allowing me to channel on your behalf. Hi, Charlie. Charlie says, I want to check if there are any messages from the spirits around me. Okay, let me see what I have. So I see, it looks like a hawk. Looks like a red-tailed hawk. So the first thing I see is a bird coming at you. And I want to say, Charlie, that this feels like a grandfather energy. It feels like a message from grandfather. It feels like the paternal line. So this is masculine energy coming through in this message. And the message is to focus and and to just like to do things in your own way. Okay. So these are two themes I feel like you're working with, Charlie, whether you're conscious of it or not. Like it's something that's really kind of front and center for you is to really learn to focus, to trust that you are on the right path, and to do things in your own way. I feel like, Charlie, I don't, obviously I don't know you, but when I tune into your question and the energy of your question, it feels like, you're stuck in a I love hawks and notice them often. I see them as my grandpa joke. Okay, good. Beautiful. Thank you for confirming that. This hawk and grandfather energy. Again, focus and do things in your own way. There's things in your life that you're doing because you have to, or you feel obligated, or you're kind of stuck in a box. Perhaps you're in a job you don't love, or you're doing things for other people that you've said yes to because it's just, what we do in the mundane world when we feel like we have to survive. Your grandfather wants you to step out of this. You are better than that. He wants you to take flight. Okay. And that's part of the reason why you're seeing these hawks. Okay. So I want you to really focus in on what it is that you're passionate about, and even like making a departure from your immediate environment. I don't know if you live with a relative or if you live close by relatives or you just talk to them often, but you need to take a break from this energy. Okay. And just take flight, make a departure from this environment, really focus on the thing that you're most passionate about. Your path, Charlie, is unconventional. Okay. It's not like you're going to go from A to B to C. It's not a straight line for you. Okay. There's going to be many, many, many detours and, going different places, experiencing, experimenting, trial and error feels like this is part of your dharma. Okay. And it's okay. It's beautiful because you're going to live to share about it. It's going to create a lot of wisdom and learning for you. And really just, it's going to bring about some kind of creative expression that's uniquely yours. It just can't happen in your current environment. Okay. So you need to make a departure from that. And it feels like that's something you've been contemplating. Okay, so that's my message for you. That's the spirit wants you to know. It'd be good to connect with your grandfather too. So if you have something of his, psychometry is something I teach in my classes. If you have something of his that you can hold on to, you can really feel his energy and you can hear him talking to you. You can hear him, coming through in the object that you're holding. Charlie says, that sounds like me. I have so many goals and ideas always, and sometimes they don't line up. Yeah. I mean, it's very clear. So focus, right? That was the first message that came through for you, is to really focus. It's not going to be a straight line, but I want you to zero in on that thing that really brings you joy. And it sounds like you're going to have to make a departure from your environment in order to figure out what that is. Okay. So you need to experience life, experiment with things. Don't just think about them. Get involved, pick up the thing, play with it for a little bit. Is this me? Is it not me? Does it feel like me? If it doesn't, put it down, try the next thing. It's a trial and error experience that's part of your path. Okay. So don't get discouraged, because success is built on many, many, many failures and many, different experiments that we make as human beings. There's no such thing as failure. There's always teaching and growing. So just be gentle with yourself and make a departure from, Charlie says, thank you, Sabrina and Grandpa Joe. Thank you, Charlie. And thank you, Grandpa Joe, for being here with us tonight. Beautiful. Okay. And if you want to talk to your grandfather, book the link for mediumship so we can talk one-on-one and we can bring in more of his messages for you. Okay. I'd love to have you in a session. All right. Let's take one more and then we'll wrap up for tonight. Renee. Hello, Renee. Renee says, good evening. Would you please tune in on any spiritual advice for my current, not relationship based? And thank you. Okay. I like to think I give all kinds of messages, but I appreciate you giving me some direction. Let me see here. I want to say, Renee, when I tune into your energy, I see you traveling somewhere by the water. Somewhere by the water. It's either something you've been thinking about or something you've been really craving or longing for, but really spending time by the water. You're going to a location that's going to nurture you somehow. Okay, there's a desire for that. I feel like spirit wants you to go be in this location and kind of sit by yourself, and be in nature, like be by the water and do some kind of meditation or ritual with water. Okay, this is water. Yes. Okay, good. So thank you for validating. So it feels like this needs to happen. It's almost like a cleansing and a rebirth. To me, water is very symbolic of baptism, of just washing away whatever it is that we no longer want to carry with us anymore. This is really good for your soul. I feel like it enhances your energy too. I don't know if you have water placements in your astrology chart, but it really enhances your own intuition and your own gifts. So spirit wants you to go and sit by the water. I don't know if you play an instrument. If you do, or there's just music I'm hearing in the background, but this feels like part of the ritual with the water and the meditation and the music and so on. This is what I see for you. It's going to feel like medicine. It will feel like, it's going to feel like something will open up for you. Okay. And there's some grieving there too. Okay. Went to water 4 weeks, haven't been in 5 months due to situation. I am an Aquarius. Okay, good. Okay, water bearer. I'm an Aquarius too. We need the water. We really do. We need it. The Aquarius is like, holding the jug of water, just kind of like this, of course it represents humanitarianism and pouring our knowledge and wisdom out to other people. So this is what I see for you. Okay. So it's so perfect. You need to go back, and it says due to a situation. You say due to a situation. This situation is amending itself. Okay. Part of this is boundaries and saying no, and just being able to prioritize your needs. Okay, Renee, this is important for you to put your needs first, and not give in to other people, try to take care of other people. Okay, this is my message for you. My spirit's message for you is to put your needs first and make sure that you're doing this type of ritual that is important for your well-being. Okay. I mean, this is coming directly from your higher self. This is what's required right now for you to get back on track. And it feels like it's good for your health too. Okay. Like good for your knees, joints, ankles, your lower half to be in the water as well. Okay. So that's my message for you tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for being here. Hi, Shiloh. Good to see you. What is Shiloh saying? Shiloh, super excited with all the possibilities are coming, seeing people, talking relationships. You see a companion for me, fun, kind, like-minded. Okay, well, let's take Shiloh's question. Sorry, I jumped over you, Lori. We'll take Shiloh's question, and then we'll wrap up for tonight. Okay, Shiloh. Let's see here. I feel super excited about everybody's possibilities, too. You know, I want to say that there's a lot of change, you know, there's a lot of change coming up for you. There's a lot of like relocation and moving and changing and rearranging your environment. In the process of relocating, Shiloh, in the process of moving and rearranging and changing your life around, feels like there is a connection there, like a like-minded soul who's also on the path to improving his circumstances. And I think we talked about this a while ago. There's like a total life upgrade that's coming up for you that I predicted a while ago. It feels like we're there, like complete overhaul. Okay. So this is someone who's either going to help you move or help with some logistics in some of the logistics in what's coming up for you. Okay. So I feel like there's a connection in the movement. So somehow, there is like the possibility of connecting with someone during this phase of momentum that you're in. Okay. And again, don't look for this. Don't reach out for it. Don't sit in lack and longing. I gave this message to someone else earlier too, you know, and this is very, very important. When there's silence, when there's no message, when there's no momentum, it feels like there's nothing happening. It doesn't mean that there's a lack. It just means that it's, you know, there is a pause, and that pause is always a redirection, invitation to sit with our own energy, to get clear on our desires, to be in the energy of our desires, to be in the embodiment of those feelings, and just be open-hearted, open and willing to receive. Okay, this is what we want in our lives. So I want you to just focus on the energy that you're in right now is really positive. It feels like really palpable, like you're excited, you're hopeful, you're trusting the process. This is the energy that's very magnetic. So stay in that energy. She says, oh, interesting. I know no one, no lack, curiosity. Okay. I want it all. Note, Nate approving happily. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, just focus in on that. Focus in on the embodiment of this energy and really feeling it, the positivity that you're in right now. This is the energy that attracts like-minded individuals. These are the kind of individuals you want to create relationship with. Okay, so someone new coming in the logistics could be someone who's helping you move. You know, I see a truck, for example, you know, so that's maybe a visual cue. Perhaps moving, you know, someone who's helping with the moving part of it. So keep that in mind and let it go. Let go of your attachments. Okay. Don't look for it, and then come back and let me know how that unfolds for you. Okay. It's good to see you, Shiloh. Glad that you're back in our community. Thank you, everybody, for joining me live. This was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed your questions, and I will look forward to seeing you on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Pacific. Same time, same place, as always, with all of your questions. And we'll have the link again if you want to join us live. We'll try that again on Wednesday. Thank you all so much. And please feel free to like and subscribe. Oh, I almost forgot to mention, if you want to participate in monthly readings, monthly mediumship events, and psychic gallery readings, this is all part of the Inner Oracle community. Then you have to join the channel. There's a link to join. Just join the level 3, tier 3. And you can participate in all of these exclusive events. I'm just handling all of my membership stuff through YouTube. So psychic gallery, mediumship, in a group setting, and guided meditations and other exclusive content are available on the 3rd tier if you join the channel. And otherwise, you can book a one-to-one reading with me. Link for that is coming up next. Lorraine, if you have that link handy, that would be great. Readings with Sabrina. There you go. So that's the link to come and book a 101. If you didn't get your question answered tonight, come and join us Wednesday. I'm happy to answer live. Otherwise, you can book some time with me and we can dive in one-to-one so we can answer life's most pressing questions for you. In the meantime, all my love. Feel free to like and subscribe and share with your friends. I will see you on Wednesday.